been a very good response from all the president of the trust. I have been writing to the president. They responded well. Thank you very much. Now I come to the most important point, the trophy. The trophy for all the IOACON. There has been some format in the assessment of the AK Gupta trophy. Dr. Atul will tell the details. Sir.
No, this has been going on. This is the third executive we are bringing up. Why would it keep coming on again and again? I mean, what if you have to, then please print it and or send a copy again to the members. This has been discussed many times.
Yeah. All of you have given your marking according to the new.
Yeah.
And the thing is, whatever decisions are there, it is according to the new format.
So let me put it other way around before we finish this. Has anybody any question on this aspect or is not aware of this?
One question.
Yes, please. Feel free to ask questions.
Cloud 3B, their marks are more, but marks are more. There's a, I don't know, number of questions, 3A. There's a questions are more, then marks are less. Like 30 the maximum marks, and there are so many things which given marks, and the total number of the questions are more than 30. I think 42 and 40 something. So what's happened?
That's working. It's not working. It's working.
The basic criteria was that to keep all the states at balance, there are certain activities like the national conference. Only one state does it, so they get 5 points. The other states automatically come at a disadvantage by 5 points. So to balance that, there are certain activities which some states are not doing. So a maximum there, which has been there in the previous AK Gupta also, and that was 30. Only what has been added is 3B, that is basic. We've added 5 points more. So the whole 3 has become now 35 instead of in the previous one, it was 30 only. No, it is more than 40. It is more than 40, but the basic idea is to get every state at par. You know, we don't want the day we start.
No, this is always, no, wait a minute. There is no problem. In most analysis, in most places, this is an acceptable norm. If you feel that that way of putting it is putting certain states at a disadvantage, then it's an important discussion. But if it is the same for everybody, then somewhere a capping has to come. We appreciate that. Obviously makes it very clear that you have gone through the details. But if your analysis suggests that this is benefiting some states or putting others at this thing, then it's worth picking. If it is the same for all, then it's okay. I mean, fine. Yeah.
So only idea I think I'd like to explain to you. The question was why a capping of 30 has been put. Actually, maximum marks are possible are more than 40. But a capping of 30 has been put because there are few activities which a small state cannot do. We cannot expect Pondicherry to hold a national conference at the moment. Yeah. Those states should not be at a disadvantage comparison to the other states which are able to hold a. That is why a capping was put. Otherwise, there's
the last page was 15th of November. And I don't know why it was extended to 20.
Sir, I will tell you one thing. I will tell you.
Sir. I have already written an email to all of you. Basically, the objection had come from Tamil.
Yeah.
I had written a communication to all of you. Please understand, there is no doubt about this thing that if you go by legal meanings, this is not correct. Yeah. So let me make, we are not sitting in a UPSC office or something. Please understand that. By extending a date for a week or 10 days, that particular chapter is not going to add any new activity. I mean, if you take legal is right, but giving an extension of about a week or so.
Only 5 days. Only 5 days extension.
A chapter was applied a little late. It's not going to have any new activity. It will make a substantial difference. And I can assure you, as we have gone through the marking, no change has, no effect has been made by giving. Only thing we have given one state to work and understand how to fill up and send this form.
In reality, you're absolutely right. Even the election dates are often extended. This, to me, Actually, if you ask me, it's unacceptable. Please bear with us. I think in future, this has to stop somewhere and people have to learn that there has to be a line. And if there isn't, it's a shame that it hasn't been put in, but we cannot argue with what you are saying. But just off the remark, there was an addendum sent by, I think, Tamil Nadu again, after the cross of date. So again, this time it's fine. It's not about who. In principle is agreed, and I'll recommend that in future executive, I'll make sure, because I expect to be there for a while in the executive, that we better get to understand that there are certain rules. Otherwise, all rules are null and void. But please bear with it this time. And as Dr. Kapoor has assured you, he had assured me also, because we had a talk about it. And he said, fortunately, this time it's not affecting any result. So, yes, we are wrong on this, but we are not going to repeat it. Thank you.
See, it's not wrong. The only purpose was to know others.
Whatever purpose, it was wrong to go beyond the date. Whatever be, let's try to justify what is not right. At this moment, at this time, we are maturing, we are growing, we are trying to get better, and it's part of our maturity to learn to correct it next time. There are no excuses for what is not appropriate. It should not be repeated. Next time, there is a date. After that, I am not party to any extension. I mean, absolutely clear, sir. That's it. We send them before, we send them 3 reminders before with the final date. Even if there is 1 chapter, that's it. That's about
So
how
3 reminders I sent, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. So we'll do it again, sir. Gradually things are getting better. Let's please move on. I think this is quite all right. Anybody feels differently from what I just said? Anybody feels that we should not be so stringent with dates? I personally feel if you have to evolve, then please let us learn to follow rules. I mean,
Sure. Yes.
yeah, fine, done.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Anything else?
Thank you. I have to say thanks to you, all of you, because now my tenure is ending. So thank you very much being with me for last 3 years. Thank you so much.
Sir, my request with to President, sir, is there any planning for that? There is some prize related with President theme, because now number of our membership is increasing, so naturally these prizes to be more and more. So if any personal, any specific our member or any state is working on President theme, then they should be appreciated.
Yeah, I do make this thing of it. So that means technically sort of instituting a new award. Is that right? Sir, this will have to go through executive and GBM. Is that right or no? Yeah. So, yeah.
This is a good idea. This is a very good idea, because it will give some impetus to the present theme also. The only thing is that every year, theme is going to be different. Now, we can be involved in a particular performer or form, which you can fill up every year. That is the difficulty. If you have general impression only that the state has done better. I don't know. This or we leave it to the president who was doing the theme, that whatever activity they have done by the particular state, they are still going to go to the president and he decides. But in principle, I think this is a good idea to have an award if the state has done the best for the state.
Award by the president. President's award for the
President Appreciation Award.
Actually, yeah, let the president decide.
yes.
Appreciation makes sense, but as I just looked at the other side, Dr. Kapoor has a point. As long as we'll remain objective, we will be a happy group. Even if it is the president and if it becomes subjective, somewhere there will be discomfort. Let's not leave any room for subjectivity. Let's think of a system. Why don't we do one thing? We have you here. I mean, sorry, who recommended this?
Dr. Tiwari.
Yeah, Dr. Tiwari, yourself and another 1 or 2 people. Please sit down, apply your mind to it. If you feel you can make it objective, please put it up for us for the next executive in Delhi in March. And if that objectivity is fair enough, see, sometimes we sit, it didn't come to my mind just now. So obviously, if you will sit and do, you'll also miss some points. If it is fair enough, it will be wonderful. It can be instituted. But if there are gaps, then we'll have to think how to acknowledge those two or three who are about equal, and sort of give a certificate or something which can be put in your local offices, something like that. But to say this was the best is going to be very difficult. That's my first impression. Please think about it. Please come back. You have at the moment given you have put up a proposal, but your real help will come if you can give how to follow that proposal.
In principle, we can accept that we would have an award or a certificate for following for that particular year for a state which gives the best results for the university. We can have that decision.
Fine, we
Go
can.
about it.
Yeah, the thought has to be evolved, but I am a little wary of making closing points half-heartedly, because invariably what happens, I don't want to leave behind 6 topics which haven't been closed, so which have to be very clear. If you are taking this up, then whoever takes, somebody has to close this and not just let it dangle, and 2 years later somebody, once upon a time we discussed this there in Agra, so that shouldn't happen. We have to close it, either say sorry, it's not possible, or this is how it's being done, and it's being done this time. Right, before we close this, I'll put on record Dr. Sharma's contribution. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. 3 years is a long time.